What's up, hockey players? My name's Coach Joe with Francis Hockey Academy. And today we're going to talk about the 1-1-3 neutral zone trap forecheck. Now, before we get into the X's and O's, when we think about our neutral zone forecheck with the 1-1-3, we're ultimately trying to protect the middle of the ice and force turnovers along the boards. So when we position ourselves in the 1-1-3, keep in mind we always need to protect from the middle outwards first, meaning we have our bodies in this middle lane to protect the weak side and prevent any seam passes or cross-ice passes to the weak side. Now, our goal with forcing turnovers is anywhere from the high neutral zone on the other team's side right before our blue line. Okay, we want to make sure that we don't give the other team any opportunities to advance past our blue line into our D zone when we utilize the 1-1-3 trap. So when I'm drawing up the X's and O's for the 1-1-3 neutral zone trap, keep in mind these three areas, right? I want you guys to picture our red protect zone in the middle and our two green go zones on the boards. Green meaning go, as in let's force them out there so we can force those turnovers. Now that we understand the areas of the neutral zone that we want to protect and pressure, let's jump into a scenario in which we could see how the 1-1-3 neutral zone trap is going to work. So beginning with our structure, F1 is going to be at the top of our trap. F2 is going to play off of F1 directly behind them, but with some space. F3 is going to play off of F2, taking away the middle lane close to our blue line. And then D1 and D2 are going to play off to the sides of F3, trying to maintain their position in line with our vertical dot lines up and down the ice, okay? Because we want to give the opposing team the impression that we're going to allow them to use the width of the ice to set up their neutral zone attack. So let's assume that one of their attackers has the puck here, okay? F1's first job is to pressure from middle out and create an angle so we can seal and contain along the boards. Now, F1 has an active stick. Okay, so body is actively pursuing the puck carrier, and the active stick is trying to take away and read the passing lanes and options so we can continue to force along the boards. Now, F2 is going to mirror F1 slightly, meaning they're going to start to bias over or cheat just a little bit in the event that F1 does get beaten, okay? However, if F1 has a good lane and is in pursuit really well, and they can continue to force, F2 is simply going to take away the middle of the ice. That's going to be their role because we don't want to allow the puck to get switched through the middle of the neutral zone, and that's going to expose us on the weak side. So F1's role here, or F2, excuse me, is weak side protection via the middle of the ice, okay? So let's just say he's continuing here. And then black will also have an option, over here, the other D's over here, and then they have like their third forward, right? So far, we're looking good. We've angled. Now, we want to make sure we take away this option as well. And this is where D1, D2, and F3 come into play. We, again, have to hold our blue line and play a tight gap. So F1 needs to get over here and play nice and tight on this black X. Again, we want to protect middle out, but we're going to make sure that they can't make that pass because we're going to make body contact and try to force a turnover. F3 needs to shift ever so slightly to read this black X. And then D2 is going to shift but stay within the middle to ensure that we do have protection of the weak side from the middle. And as you can see, all our arrows are converging onto one point. Even if they try to make an area pass right here to this black X, we have F2 and F3 ready to jump on that player, and D2 is going to mark this guy, okay? So it's important that we communicate and everybody understands their position on the ice relative to their teammates. Now, we did talk about F2 taking away the middle so long as F1 had a good angle and did a good job of being aggressive in forcing to the boards. But as we know, hockey's a dynamic game. It's always changing, and sometimes things don't work out perfectly, which is okay. That's why we're set up and we have a structure. So let's say F3 is a little late, maybe takes a shallow angle. Again, it's going to happen, right? He's a little bit behind the play. F2 is going to come up and take the middle lane as well because we want to take that angle so we can prevent any passes from the middle. As F2 is coming in, they need to communicate with F1 to cover the middle. So F2 might come in to enter the pressure and say, F1, get back to middle, in which case F1 will discontinue their route and filter right back into F2's position in the middle of the ice to protect the weak side. And then D1, F3, and D2 will again play a tight gap, make the stop no later than our blue line, and then F3, D1, and D2 will shift along the blue line side to side based on how and where we angle. So that's just a very simple breakdown of the 1-1-3 neutral zone forecheck.